All right, so I am working on a writing project for the 2022 World Aquatics Championships. And I'm really excited. I'm doing like a production on my Wikipedia user page. And so what do I mean by that? And who can view it? Anybody can view it. It's Wikipedia user pages are available to anyone. So I'm going to put a link in the video description to my Wikipedia user page if you're interested in anything I'm about to talk about. Well, that's where it's going down. And so what do I mean? I have been writing on Wikipedia during these championships or games or competitions for swimmers and other athletes and other sports. And so I'm going to I've been trying to figure out, how do I streamline this when I'm actually writing at things? How do I keep track of it and what I've done and stuff like that? So it's partially an ode to people who write what are called a chronological summary. So they go through and look at the start times for every race, and they put down who wins what medal and what order. And for multiple sport events, that requires a lot of cross-checking and stuff like that. And it's really impressive, these pages. So it's kind of an ode to that, and in doing that with a smaller sample, not everything, just a smaller sampling that I'm interested in for this competition. And so I'm going to do that on my page, and I'm going to track, well, let's go through it. So essentially it's tracking athletes in countries that I'm interested in 3 sports across this World Championships. So my countries of interest for artistic swimming, which also, well, what used to be called synchronized swimming, and then its name got changed. So my countries of interest that I am, and how I chose them, my countries of interest I chose based on at least 2 competitors I have watched since the beginning of the new year in various international or national competitions, including at least 2 from each of these artistic swimming countries. So there's Bulgaria. They have excellent taste in music, I have found. Canada, Colombia, Italy, Japan, and Puerto Rico. Now, I don't actually know if the people, so I chose these countries to follow based on people I'd seen competing from those countries. It does not mean the people that I saw competing will compete at the World Championships. It's just they have spiked my interest in, or piqued my interest in these countries, kind of thing. And that kind of goes for just individuals who compete too, is just something could happen. Somebody could have an accident happen, something random like slipping. In Minnesota, I have family in Minnesota, and they still have snow and ice on the ground. So like somebody could just be walking down the street, slip and fall, and break their ankle, and not be able to compete. So random stuff like that does happen. So this is just kind of how I selected them and who I selected does not mean that they're going to compete. I hope they compete. I want to see them compete. They're a country of interest for a reason, that kind of thing. So up next is pool swimming. And for this sport, I have chosen to follow Egypt, France, Great Britain, Ireland, Italy, and South Africa. Voila. This is my second sport that I'm following, writing about, tracking the results in, that kind of thing. And then the last sport is open water swimming. These are not the only types of swimming. There's also like fin swimming and para swimming and stuff like that. So these are swimming, doesn't mean a pool. That's a pool swimming is that kind of swimming. There's open water swimming doesn't even take place in the pool. So I have 2 countries for this one. Italy and South Africa. So these are my countries of interest. I also have 2 lone penguins. And those are individuals that I've been following, writing about, have made over 100 plus edits or contributions to their page on Wikipedia in the past year. So like the past 365 days, since it's not a leap year, it wasn't a leap year last year. And these are people I want to follow and assess as individuals independent of their country. So I'm calling them lone penguins. They are my first lone penguins because I have not done this production before. And so it's Kyle Chalmers, and Brooks Curry. And where this is kind of fun, or I think I'm very excited about all of this, but where I'm like kind of excited about this is, so every day I'm putting up a daily schedule. So each day of competition, like the day before, I put up the schedule for the next day. Once I've finished filling out the schedule. So there's a daily schedule, and I put in what event it is. So is it the sport it is, what event it is, and then what countries or lone penguins of interest are competing. And then I update that each day. And then I'm doing a medal table for my countries of interest. So like if Kyle Chalmers wins a silver medal in the 50-meter butterfly, he will go into the medal table as an individual, not as his country. I'm assessing these lone penguins as individuals. So the question, so it's kind of fun. If the lone penguins win medals, or a medal, they could go in and be assessed in comparison to entire countries. And so the big kind of question is, who's going to win this medal table for countries and lone penguins of interest for myself? And is it going to be Great Britain, which I have in just one sport, just in pool swimming, versus Italy, which is the only country that I'm interested in all 3 sports this time around. So this is the first time I'm doing this. So I have a medal table, so you can see how the medal table progresses. And then I'm also going to make a list of medalists. So every person this is ambitious, every person who medals in my lone penguin or a country, I will put them on a list with the information, like what medal type, what event, what was the time or the score or whatever, because artistic swimming is points, not times. And so I'm going to take and do that and put a reference, at least one reference with each person or team or whatever. Or person, like because of the lone penguins, when it lists, if they were on a relay or something, and when it say all the relay people, it would just say that person because I'm assessing them as an individual, independent of the country. Versus like if Italy won a medal in a relay, then I would put all the relay people's names. So there's where the lone penguins are like flying solo, and I thought it was very fitting because penguins are large, aquatic, flightless birds, and each of these sports are, well, in the water or at the air-water interface. Technically, these sports aren't pure water sports in the sense of they're underwater and in the water. They're on the water interacting with. It's a multi-medium sport versus like running is just one medium. It's just air. And ground. So actually, but you're not like running in the ground kind of thing. It's not like running halfway through the ground. So and then I have on this page, I detailed project information. So there's also project information if you just want to read about it, so check in on it, or like learn more. So this video is just some of the information. It's not all of the information. If you want more information, head on over to my user page, which will be linked in the video description. So it contains project information. And then it also has a list of people whose biography pages I intend to edit. So list of pages I intend to edit during competition. Okay, that's kind of it. Is there anything else? This is really exciting. How do I keep track of it? Well, I'm gonna go over two last things. The first one is husband's prep. So like my husbands and I are very excited about this. So we're gonna break it into two sums. So husbands preparation. All right, maybe I'll just, I don't think that's right, but like, yeah. Preparation. Okay, so we have Dane and Caeleb are staying home, and they've decorated our house, and it's like flags everywhere, like papers on the walls everywhere. We don't own a TV, like there's no TV in the house, and so they've just kind of like completely revamped the house in the theme of this and like tracking the people. And so it's like we wake up in the morning and there's like a Canadian swim team, like not pool swimming, artistic swimming on the ceiling and stuff. And so it's just like, all right. And so they're staying home, they're staying at our house, and we're tracking this kind of like just from afar. So it's kind of like all encompassing of the house. So that's like kind of, yeah, that's prep. It's thematic and getting into it. And then there's Andrey and Kyle. So Andrey cannot compete at this World Championship, so they're both going representing the Lucky Wallaby Courier, which is kind of individual and joint business dream. And so they're kind of going as like the eyes and ears of Lucky Wallaby Courier. And that was always the plan. And then Kyle also swam some stuff and qualified. But yeah, the main goal of all of this is Lucky Wallaby Courier and our joint kind of business interest. You can think of it as like Andrey and Kyle investing personal resources on the ground in like a support and just kind of approaching the championships as a kind of diversification. And yeah, and diversification and kind of developing skill sets that we need for Lucky Wallaby Courier, like being present at the championships and just kind of seeing what's going on and stuff like that. And Andrey is Russian, and they were banned from the championships, so it's kind of a way of testing how strong is the FINA ban? Like, did they just say that, or did they mean like, because he's a Russian athlete, so technically he shouldn't even be allowed to buy a ticket and be in the stands, right? Or are they just, you can come and support everybody except for your own countries? But their ban actually didn't say, like, they said it banned all Russians and Belarusians athletes and officials. They didn't from events. So that implies that they can't spend money, buy tickets, and spectate. So we're going to see if that's the case or not. So just as good, especially from a business perspective. How true and effective are these bans? Because the press releases will be released, but they're short, and the actual text of the ban might be 500 pages long. So let's see if he can even get in. And then there's friend preparation, and this is Amber Heard. She won her libel lawsuit against her husband in the sense of he was found, or not her current husband. She's not married currently. She had a former husband who was abusive, did stuff like raped her with a glass bottle, and he was found guilty, and he has to pay her $2 million. And so the jury found her former husband guilty and is making him pay Amber Heard $2 million. Two things. Third thing, they also assigned what is called a legal guardian, and the jury assigned me to Amber Heard as her legal guardian. So not only is she my friend, I'm now her legal guardian. What the hell does that mean? It happens in abuse cases. So I've already mentioned that I have 2 husbands who went to prison 5+ years each for domestic violence. It's like a buddy system effectively, where they pair someone like me who's been through this and gotten out on the other side. And my husbands are out and stuff like that, and these 2. So I'm paired with her to, like, think of it as like keep her alive kind of thing. And so what will she be doing? She will be going to these championships with Andrey and Kyle. She will be going with my husband, and they are her bodyguards, and she wants to meet Natalie Hinds. She's a big fan of Natalie Hinds. So Natalie Hinds, if you see this, Amber Heard would like to meet you. You have a fan. Yeah. But that's kind of it. And all concluding remarks. I told my grandma about this and what I'm doing. I just got back from a 3-night, it's like 4-day, 3-night overnight trip at my grandma's house, just visiting her, and I told her about this riding I'm doing. She got really excited, and the thing she was most excited for is men in artistic swimming. So I have to figure out the men artistic swimming broadcast information to send it to her. But that's what she's most excited for. I am most excited for kind of all of this and just the production. Yeah, there are countries and lone penguins of interest for a reason. But that's my writing. So if I'm not uploading videos as much, it's kind of because this championships goes through the beginning of July. So there's kind of a lot of prep to be done before and a lot of stuff going on during.